Didn't intend to profit off a scammer, but my hands were tied. Years ago, I was quite involved in an active online community of analog audio hobbyists. People would occasionally put hardware and music up for sale on the message board we used. I'd been looking for a specific piece of hardware for several years to no avail. It was extremely rare and had never been sold in the US, so any examples would have been imported from Japan. One of these machines popped up for sale from someone in the community and I jumped on it. The guy offering it wasn't new but wasn't terribly active. Somehow he'd obtained pics that weren't on the net or not easily searchable and ginned up a fake Japanese bill of sale. In hindsight, he may have seen one for sale and stolen the images from that. Regardless, it all seemed legitimate enough to induce me to go through with the transaction. So, PayPal sent and he says it'll ship in about a week. Then, the excuses begin. From he's been busy to out of town to his assistant shipped it but didn't send the tracking number to providing a fake tracking number. Then, he just quit responding to calls or emails. Turns out the number he'd given me was a forwarding service that he subsequently disconnected. He also disappeared from the forum. He had, however, used his real name and a real PayPal account. I filed a PayPal claim, and of course they denied the claim on some technicality. I'm sure he was counting on this occurring. This is where the revenge begins with an unintended bonus. All I wanted was to make sure the guy knew I'd find him and get to him. I'd called the police and reported matters but they couldn't have given less of a damn. I decided to find him myself, and found an old wedding announcement that had been posted on the net. I searched his wife's name and found mention of her being out on leave to give birth to their first child on her work website. Bingo. I had a small gift sent to her workplace with my name on it, and called her work to say that I'm an old friend and don't have their contact info but wanted to wish them congratulations on the new child, and that I'd come see him soon. I had visions of his wife saying how nice it is that someone sent a gift to her work, etc., and asking who I was. This apparently spooked him, because a cashier's check showed up for the full amount. Now, what he hadn't counted on, and I didn't tell him, was that I'd filed a charge back with American Express after PayPal denied the claim. My conundrum was this: the Amex investigation was ongoing, and I had no idea if they'd overturn the chargeback or not. I also had no idea if the cashier's check was legit. I've heard of counterfeit checks being returned up to 45 days later. So I truly didn't intend to profit off this. But I did. The Amex chargeback was resolved in my favor, which PayPal clawed back from his account, shortly after the check was proven good. The kicker is, the guy had the gall to email and threaten to try to have me charged with fraud for the chargeback when he'd already sent the check. I simply responded and said, "Hey. Great to finally hear from you. Glad you're doing well, how's the baby?"